G'day everybody. First off, I just want to start by saying thank you very much to Nick Reid and Sharon Reid and the whole team at Reid Corporate for putting this great event on. I think I've been here over a decade on and off for the last few years with the Spartan story, and it's been great to see a lot of people come back and also come to the booth and talk about how much value we've created for them. Showed this slide, I think now, for over a year. We've been drilling for almost 2 years consistently in this one area. We made a pretty significant discovery in front of an old open pit. Not that old, to be honest, but we'll just call it historic for the moment because we kind of pushed it to the side. We're drilling right in front of it. Never Never was a major discovery that we made early on in my tenure with the company. Early 2022, mid-22, we put out some I think pretty underwhelming resource numbers based on some pretty good drill hits, and from there we've just grown it to what is now 1.5 million ounces at over 8.5 grams. So pretty significant, 600 metres to a plant that unfortunately I had to turn off, but it wasn't making money, so when I turn it back on, I want it to make money, particularly for those shareholders that are still sitting in the back of the wagon. Capital structure. Pretty impressive. Market cap, $1.5 billion for an explorer that's got its own infrastructure. We do represent a unique investment proposition. All MDs will say that. Having very high-grade gold that's growing with every drill hit in front of existing infrastructure is something you don't find very often. You usually find a deposit, or you have the infrastructure, you don't have both. So we're pretty lucky. Obviously, we had to do it backwards, turn the mill off and then find the deposit. We're situated in a tier 1 location, everybody says that too, but we are literally in the Murchison in WA, very well established gold mining area. We have Silver Lake, Westgold and Ramelius as our nearest neighbours with some of their flagship assets there. So in a good location, we've managed to build 2.5 million ounces at just under 4.8 grams a tonne across that project at Dalgaranga, which is in the centre there. We also have the Yolgu project, which some of you may know is where I actually came from. The reason I came into Gascoyne was by virtue of being acquired by Gascoyne late 21, and then I subsequently took over the top job and we just went about exploring. Resource tables, I won't go through this in detail. This presentation will be available to view. It's the same kind of numbers that I've been putting out for a while, but when you reflect on the fact that we've managed to, 300% increase on ounces, almost 300% increase in grade, and in less than 3 years at a cost of $16.50 per ounce added, and that's drilling cost. When you think about, an ounce of gold is $2,500 thereabouts US. If you look at it in Australian dollars, $3,700. We're adding each ounce at a cost of $16.50. It's pretty cheap. That's how close our mill is to the deposits we've found. The green one on the right-hand side is the one we found first. As I said, 1.5 million ounces at a really healthy grade, less than 600 metres to that plant. Believe it or not, in April this year we found Pepper, which is its close cousin, sitting even closer to the historic pit, which is the blue circle on the left-hand side, or ellipse. We've already put an inferred resource on that at 438,000 ounces at 7.6. Some of the drill intercepts coming out of Pepper actually rival what we saw at Never Never. Our top 20 is being challenged by this new prospect that we've just found. So we're pretty excited about what that may mean for us in the future. This is how quickly we grew this. If you look through 23 there, we just smashed the resource numbers out. 300,000, 700,000, ended the year with almost 1 million ounces of high grade just at Never Never. Now that stands at 1.5. As a high grade underground resource, the entire Pepper Never Never complex is almost 1.9 million ounces at 8.6, just over 8.6, which is a great number. It also annihilated our exploration target, which I was pretty happy about. And what do you know, we're still drilling. So 25,000 metres of surface drilling. We're putting in an underground drill drive at the moment, which ostensibly will become a mine access for what will become one of the best underground gold mines in Australia. And we're going to be doing 65,000 metres of drilling off that drill drive to prove it. 4 rigs on site right now, and they are very busy. It's a busy slide. That's our top 20. In the yellow are the Pepper hits. After drilling 450 holes into Never Never, they're some of the best drilling intercepts I've ever seen in my career. Some people would be pretty happy to see 1 or 2 of these hits at their gold deposits. We've been delivering these hits now for over 2 years, and Pepper is actually busting some of the Never Never hits out of that table, including the one we put out last week, 27 metres at 39 grams a tonne. And when you think about that, an Olympic-sized swimming pool was 50 metres long. We're talking about a drill intercept that's over half the length of that swimming pool at over an ounce a tonne. This is what it looks like, the old open pit on the right-hand side, Never Never on the left there to the north. We've now extended that deposit to over 1,000 metres below surface, and our deepest hit is 10 metres at just shy of 8 grams a tonne. So we know that system keeps going. It's open at depth. And then, as I said, we found Pepper immediately adjacent, and we've seen some of the best drill hits we've seen on this project so far. That's also open at depth, and we are drilling with 2 rigs, 2 diamond rigs at the moment. That's where those drill hits came from, and we're seeing these big chunky coarse gold drill hits. You can see some of it in the core that we've got at our booth. It's one of the most incredible gold systems I've seen in 20 years of doing this. This is the resource, just to show you some scale here. The indicated ounces are in the gold regions, the inferred and the upside is in the grey and outside of that. So we're busy drilling Pepper now to get it into indicated to make it available for reserves. Recently employed a COO, very experienced mining engineer from my Northern Star days. He's helping me work out how to get the rock out of here. My specialty is finding gold, his specialty is moving it. So we're putting in this drill drive together at the moment. That portal will be cut in the next couple of weeks. We've got the crews on site ready to go. Ounces per vertical metre. This is quite meaningful to people who work in the mining industry. Over 1,000 ounces per vertical metre used to be, fairly well a benchmark for making things exciting. We were pretty close to 2,000 ounces per vertical metre with just Never Never. Adding Pepper to that has pushed us closer to 4,000 ounces per vertical metre. And when you do the rough sums, if you're advancing 75 to 100 metres vertical a year, but you've got 4,000 ounces across every vertical metre there, you can work out this is going to be a very productive mine. I apologise if anybody gets vertigo. This is just a satellite photo of our site. So Gilbey's, and I'll do some drawing because geos love to draw with crayons. That's the Gilbey's open pit down there. Never Never was found just to the north of that. Literally by asking some questions of the geos that had been there, one of them for 5 years through the administration period that Gascoigne had suffered through and then emerged from, asking simple questions of the team there. They knew about this information, and all I did was unlock that ability to leverage off those gold hits and that knowledge. So we've now built this system into something that's I'm pretty proud of. Our granted mining lease encompasses that entire operation and the other open pit to the north, which I'll get into in a minute. But essentially that's all granted mining lease, fully permitted, ready to go. So all the activities we do on that, and trust me, we are focusing on all our targets in that region there because the path to production is much faster. We've built this amazing high-grade resource that will underpin the mine that we're developing, and everything else is upside, and there's a lot more upside. Just to give you a bit of a 3D view here, that's the long section of the mine, similar to what I showed before, but that's the drill drive with the planned drilling. The blue lines are 65,000 metres of underground drilling. That will allow us to drill areas that we can't currently access, and by that I mean up dip of Pepper. If you think about that, that's only 438,000 ounces at the moment. I can't get to this area here. I will be able to from that drill drive. And at the same time, we'll be getting close to Never Never. That drill drive is going to end up 100 metres away from Never Never, and it's not going to take us long to get into that mine and see some of the best stopes. Again, the drill hits translate into one of the best gold mines I think I've ever seen. Resource tables there just to really drive home the point. I apologise if they're small, but again, I can reiterate the numbers if you like. Total underground resource there is just an eye-watering grade, and we're pretty excited about getting underground there, so we're rapidly advancing that now. Just to try and give you some idea of the geometry of this ore body, the average width of the stopes that we're looking at the moment are 14 metres wide. To put that in context, most of my career I worked in narrow vein gold. The stopes are anywhere between 2 to 5 metres wide. Sometimes you'd see some blowouts. This is consistently average 14 metre wide stopes, and the grades are incredible. So we're working very, very carefully and systematically on putting together a really nice reserve that I'm hoping to be well north of 7 figures. We'll be putting that out in the early part of next year. and we'll be pushing that drill drive down. Just to take it back out into scale again, like I said, we've underpinned this with this incredible high-grade resource that we're actively drilling right now, converting to those indicated classifications to get it into reserve, but we're also exploring. We built the value in this company to such a height and in so rapid fashion by drilling, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So while we commence the mining pathway and get that drill drive down there, get underground, get access to that incredible ore body that we found, and Pepper, as it develops, we're going to keep looking outside of that, because to me, I want to make sure that people understand we're not just going to rest on our laurels here and build one of the most incredible gold mines you've seen. We're going to keep making it bigger. Again, the writing on this might be a bit small, but this is to give you some context. The green outline is the granted mining lease. The blue area is where we just conducted geophysics. We've done electromagnetics, magnetics, resistivity, gravity. We've really bombed this ground with remote sensing because we've drilled some holes out there and we can see some really interesting stuff. In the middle there between Golden Wings, which is to the top right-hand side, and the main cluster of the high grade that we're focused on from a mining sense at the moment down by the process plant, there's an area there called Patient Wolf. We drilled 19 metres at 19 grams in August last year. We didn't quite know what was happening. We knew there was some really good high grade there, but what we wanted to do was take a bit of a step back, work out what was going on from an architecture point of view, and then go again. And right now I've got 2 rigs, an RC rig and a diamond rig, drilling that entire corridor from one end to the other, prioritising the targets. We do have a stratigraphy that hosts all the gold mineralisation. Again, doing my little colourful drawing. You've got regular cuts through the stratigraphy that create these high-grade zones. We can see the same orientation up at Golden Wings. Golden Wings was an open pit that was mined primarily to become a tailings storage facility for the previous operation. Nobody drilled a hole underneath that open pit that was designed because they were open pit miners, so I can't really blame them. But as a geologist, I have to drill underneath that pit. This will be an underground mining operation, no doubt. So I need to know what's under that pit, and it's the best place to start drilling is along strike or down dip from another gold mine, and we're drilling there right now. That Patient Wolf area in the middle there, another structural corridor. We'll be drilling there. We've put a few holes into it. We'll be bringing a lot more news flow to the market. So while we're building this mine, we're going to be exploring and bringing more drill hits, and hopefully we can push more of that top 20 out of the way. Our strategy, growth, and the plan is to drill. We're going to do a bit of mining as well. We will put that drill drive down. Never Never was a discovery that we made early on. Pepper, we made another discovery. What I'm trying to get through here is that as we drill, we just keep finding. Mount Magnet's 6 million ounces, 60 kilometres to our east. We've already built 2.5 million ounces in less than 3 years. Mount Magnet's had 100 years of having a go. We've had 3 years of having a go. So just to put that in context, neurology is a great thing, but what I'm saying is that this has scale and scope to go much bigger than it is now. And we've really only drilled within 2 kilometres of that plant. Regular news flow, lots of catalysts for the share price, for the market cap, for people to be excited about. That drill drive's going in, that drilling will be done. We'll put out a reserve early part of next year. We will put out a financial investment decision that will show everybody exactly how profitable this mine will be and for how long, and that will just be the base case. This gets much bigger. Why invest in Spartan? A lot of people stand up here, not having a crack at anybody, but kind of, and they talk about the future. They talk about what they're going to do, about the potential. We just do it. I mean, I'm not a great promoter. I'm actually just a mine geo. I love doing what I do. I get very passionate about it. I love talking to people about it. I love making people a lot of money. And there's been a lot of people come to the booth, talk about how much they've made since we were here last time. We're delivering. High grade, the infrastructure's there. There's no argument. Proximity's right there. The ounces, the growth, the team is proven. We discover. We're explorers. We're developers. We're operators. We've done this before. Someone said to me, when you went into Gascoyne, you must have been packing your DAX. I was. But funnily enough, I've built a career on doing that. You walk into broken operations, and thanks to the vision of my former boss, Bill Beeman at Northern Star, backing the team and actually giving us that ability to unlock the value, which is exactly what I did with this team at Gascoyne, we've managed to build something great from something that was a dumpster fire. We've created huge value. We've delivered lots of catalysts, and we're going to continue to do that. Does that make us a target? Of course it does. One of our little strategic friends, probably shouldn't call them little, off to the side, just near us, has bought 18% of our company. they're interested in what we've got the answers they need. What is our plan? We're just going to build it and define our own future. If anybody wants to get involved, that's plan B. But for us, we're building this for our shareholders and we're going to continue to do that. Thank you.